Hello, I'm Ian Payne, and I'm with Dr. Budianto Lim, who's the head of graduate program at STTRI in Jakarta in Indonesia. That's the Reformed Indonesian Seminary there in Jakarta. We're delighted you could be with us today. Thank you very much. How are you?
Good. Thank you, Ian, for having me.
Tell me, how has STTRI coped with the pandemic? What sort of situation do you face?
Well, when the government announced a greater scale of physical distancing, we right away set our campus protocol, including how to do classes online, because the announcement happened during the semester. Excuse me. So before we embark on online classes, we give our dormitory students a choice, because we have about 60 to 75 students in our dormitory. So we present a choice to them. They can stay in the dorm so that they can continue finish the semester, or they can go home as long as they are able to continue classes online. So I mean, we are trying to treat them as adults. So they need to get consent from their parents. They have to consider the pros and cons. So by giving these choices, we wish that students learn to consider the context, make decision, and be responsible for that. As for classes, we right away notify all faculty members to use every available media to continue classes, because we do not want to stop our semester, because it is really, it is right in the middle of the semester. If we stop classes, or if we stop that semester, we freeze that semester, the repercussion will be greater in the following semester. So we let the faculty decide based on their best judgment, because we have 4 concentrations, and the way every concentration deliver the lecture is pretty much different. However, we also provide a simple document explaining steps how to do online classes using, for example, Google Meet or Zoom.
Right.
Of course, there are some difficulty along the process, because every faculty member have no experience to do online classes. And I bet this happens in most Indonesian seminary. Yeah. So, but at the same time, we encourage the faculty, when they do online classes, allow some time of discussions and interactions. If they cannot do video conferencing using Zoom or Google Meet, they can do it over WhatsApp. Mm-hmm. Although it is very limited, it is better than no interaction at all. So we ask all class leaders, I think the following day or 2 days after that, to form WhatsApp groups for every class and transmit all information. Yeah, so, well, as for now, we are trying to prepare for next semester. We are done with this semester, so we are trying to be ready if we cannot have conventional classes next semester.
Yep.
We do not want to put students and faculty and also staff into greater risk if they gather together in campus. Yeah, that's basically how we respond. I mean, because it is really a sudden announcement from the government. Well, although we think it was late, because other country in Southeast Asia has already applied lockdown. Right. And our government did not want to use that term lockdown. They just said greater scale of physical distancing.
Okay. That's a fascinating process, that in response to the greater restrictions, you allowed each faculty to adopt their own style of connection with their student body, so their classes.
Yes.
And would you say they basically transferred their lecture class material to a video format, but added
Uh,
discussion as well?
well, some of the lecturers did that, but not all.
Yep.
Yeah, classes. So everyone has to learn how to use that
Yes.
Zoom or Google Meet. Yeah.
And from a student's point of view, did they all have good bandwidth devices?
Well, it depends on where they stay.
Mm.
If people stay in Jakarta, and it depends on which internet provider that they subscribe.
Okay.
But in general, in Jakarta, we are okay. But we are not too sure in other parts of Indonesia, especially smaller cities.
And in terms of a student achieving the work required, how would they submit their assignments?
Well, most of them still submit papers through emails.
Yep.
The problem comes with practicums.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it is, for example, our class, we have what we call multi-sensory worship.
Yes.
So we must have practicum. So how did they submit their project? We asked them to create a gesture that can be used during the pandemic event, and then we asked them to record their gesture with the explanation.
Right.
And then we asked them to transmit the video through WhatsApp.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one. But that's only one part of the practicum, which is for the worship studies. It will be more challenging for counseling and then discipleship simulation and other practicums. And also homiletics is pretty tough.
Right. So you concluded the first semester by that sort of emergency means, and now you're in the break between semesters. So are you planning to go ahead with the same sort of strategy in semester 2?
Well, we are expecting to have online classes in the next semester. But of course, we do hope that we can come back to the older conventional class. But at this moment, as the head of graduate studies, I'm preparing a document like a guideline how to do online classes that can be effective in a way. So I'll divide what should students do and what should faculty do in order to maximize the experience of online classes. Yeah, but I'm still in the process of making it. Yeah.
And in forming that pedagogical overview document, have you been relying on any helpful resources you can point us to?
Yes, one of the current resources that I would say is I see some talk about education, and then I try to, for example, read materials from the internet. For example, a study about the benefit of online classes, and it is very interesting because we assume that online classes is more negative than conventional classes. There was a study by a person, I forget his name, I have the documents. It is not, I mean, our assumption is not totally true because they said that actually students have more motivation to study online.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange.
Very good. So that's an unusual benefit that maybe you've encountered. Are there any other benefits that you have come across from the pandemic?
One of the personally, I find online classes in general is like a test to everyone. For students, it is truly a test of motivation and maturity. I mean, when we have our conventional class, uh, everyone can encourage others easily.
Mhm.
Then when we have online classes, actually for us faculty, we give permission for the students to turn off their video, especially when they have a very difficult connection. So when they turn off the video, we are not really sure whether they are there or not. So it is really a test of maturity and motivation for the students.
Right.
At the same time, for us faculty, we have to pause and think through our materials. And we have to pick and choose which material and how should we present it in a different way probably, so that the benefit for students will still be maximum. I mean, yeah, because most of us are forced to listen carefully which part of our lecture that can be done differently. I think that's the benefit, the benefit, and also a challenge for us.
Good, good. All right, it's been very wonderful talking with you, Budi, and we wish you well as
Thank you.
Jakarta moves through this time. We give you our prayers and our encouragement. Thank you for this time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ian. God bless you.